Just a quick little heads up before the video starts. I do want to mention that I say a lot. I have a lot of choppiness in my editing skills, and overall, I'm just not great at YouTubing just yet. Just a really quick reminder, I'm brand new at this. I this is my first time actually doing a editing software, doing, anything heavy professional YouTube like. So just it's just a heads up. Anyways, let's start the video. Okay. One, two, three. Well, I guess I'm doing YouTube now. Welcome everybody to the Max Ursa YouTube channel. My name is Max Ursa. The one I'm sitting above is Ursa Belle. Ursa Belle and I would like to introduce ourselves with just a couple of questions to answer to you guys to, get used to my channel, be able to, what's up with my channel, what am I going to be doing here, what's my content going to be like, how do I act around other people, etc. So, with that said, let's go with answer or question number one. My bad. Question number one. Where did the name Max Ursa come from? Well, Max Ursa actually is just a mix of a few things. Max comes from my old Xbox gamer tag known as Maximus Def. Eventually, Max became his own little character, which is Little Max, the one that is talking on top of Ursabelle's head. Ursa comes from the Latin word she bear. And, well, bear, honestly, I just thought it sounded sweet and it fit her. So, with that said, I think question number one is complete. Question number two. What are you actually like as a person when you're making videos? Honestly, I don't really know yet. This is my first time actually taking YouTube seriously, and I've made a couple of goofy videos when I was like 12, if that even barely counts. But in general, though, I'm just a silly, goofy, probably a little annoying sometimes. But once you get to know me, I think I'm pretty fun and an interesting guy. So I guess we'll find out what kind of YouTuber I am and what I become together. So with that said, question number three. Okay, then who exactly is Ursabelle? And why did you decide to make her such a big part of your channel instead of, having the channel just be about me? Well, first, let me just show you a couple of pictures, okay? This is Ursabelle. I've actually had her developing in my mind for the last 3 to 4 years now. I've never been much of an artist, so, once I started experimenting with my own local AI tools, I finally had a way to, bring all these ideas in my head to life. Over time, I kept developing her design, personality, story, everything else until she became this sweet bear, the sweet bear you guys see today. She's still a work in progress, and she'll probably change as the channel grows, but other than that, I think question number three is now complete. Question number four. What exactly is the relationship between you, Little Max, and Ursabelle on the channel? Well, Ursabelle and I are definitely on good terms, although sometimes I think she's a little spoiled. Um, since I can't actually be there in Ursa's universe, I communicate through the little bear blob on top of her head known as Little Max. Little Max is technically his own character. I mean, trust me, he has a mouth on him. I mean, even I'm surprised by some of the things he says. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, when you see Little Max talking, that's just me talking through him. And Ursabelle is completely her own character. Like, she has her own personality, thoughts, reactions. As for why Max sits on top of her head, I think Ursa just thinks it's silly. And then Max, he just sits there comfortable. So I guess it all works out. But that said, I think we are on question number five. So, what kind of videos should people actually expect to see on the Max Ursa channel? So most of my content is going to be gaming related. That's something that's going to be the main focus of my channel. But every now and then, I mean, I'm probably going to branch out into doing reaction videos, guides for certain games or things, and maybe even throwing in some Ursabelle lore, especially that her story is being more developed, and just I honestly think that like I'm probably gonna do a lot of lore videos with her, but you'll see some different stuff here and there. But if you're here for gaming, you've definitely came into the right place. Okay, question number 6. Why do you actually want to start making YouTube videos? Easy question. Making YouTube videos has been something that I've been wanting to do as a hobby for a very long time. I don't really have some huge complicated reason for it. I just mainly want to entertain people, express myself, and just have good time doing it. So, with that said, question number 7. What kind of games are you planning to play? And should viewers expect you to stick to certain games, or will you basically play whatever catches your interest? Um, that's actually a tricky one to answer because I don't really want to stick to just one specific type of game. I mostly just want to make videos about things, video games, just anything I generally enjoy. Maybe they'll be like, playing Call of Duty with my friends, or having a chill night playing Poker Night at the Inventory, or even something like Oblivion Remastered, which will probably end up being my longest series on my channel eventually because Oblivion's my favorite game of all time, hands down. Basically, if I'm having fun playing it, there's a pretty good chance you'll see it on my channel. Um, question number 8. What is Ursabelle actually going to be doing in my videos? Ursabelle is basically my silent partner in crime. While I'm talking through Little Max, she'll be reacting to whatever we're doing. And since she's her own character, her reactions won't always catch mine. Like right now, Ursa doesn't have a voice, but hopefully as like the technology improves, and I learn more day by day, she'll eventually, get a voice and maybe even talk with me. But until then, she's probably going to be the silent one of the group, which is probably for the best. So, with that said, question number 9. What do you want the overall vibe of the Max Ursa channel and its community to be like? Um, I I want I want people to feel invited. I want you to feel at home, and I genuinely want you to feel happy to be here. Obviously, we're not always going to have the same opinions. We're not always going to have, the same mindset, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to agree with me on everything to be welcomed here. At the end of the day, I just want Max Ursa to be a place you can come to hang out, have fun, and feel at home. Question number 10. If you had to describe the Max Ursa channel in 3 words, what would they be? I've been thinking this through. I already know the answer. Comforting, silly, and chaotic. Moving on. Question number 11. Why did you decide to be represented by Little Max instead of showing your face on the channel? Originally Little Max was partly a privacy thing, but I might eventually do a face reveal. But honestly, even if I do, Little Max isn't going anywhere. He's he's become such a big part of the channel that he will probably always be my little representative. You know what I mean? So with that said, let's get to question number 12. What kind of sense of humor should people expect from you? I don't curse in my videos because personally I think it's a respectful thing to do, but don't take that as me saying my humor is completely like family friendly. Let's just say sometimes my humor is not for the faint of heart. So, question 13. Um, do you have a specific upload schedule planned, or are you more of a the video is done when it's done kind of creator? Um, I really want to be consistent, but with me getting into a job in the real world, I'm not gonna promise the strict schedule just yet. Ideally, I would love to upload weekly, but realistically, it might be even closer to 1 or 2 videos a month. So stick around for that. Second to last question. What do you think will make Max Ursa different from other gaming channels? Honestly, I think a lot of it's just gonna be it's just me. Sometimes you'll hear my family doing something in the background. Sometimes I'll say the most goofiest thing you'll ever hear. And sometimes I don't even know what's gonna happen. I think my personality is a little different from your average gaming creator, and hopefully that's part of what makes this channel fun to watch, and hopefully you enjoy it. Last question. If Max Ursa actually grows into something bigger than you expect, what would you love to eventually do with the channel? Um, Even if the channel does get big, I want to keep things as grounded and as personal as I can have it. Now, if let's see down the line, if I was to get popular, I would still collaborate with like PNG tubers, VTubers, or even YouTubers, and maybe someday even sell, Ursa Belle merchandise. But usually I just want to keep improving the channel and improving Ursa's technology and my own skills get better. Basically I just want to keep developing her until she becomes her own person. So with that said, I think that's going to wrap up of what my questions were asked to me. If you liked what you've seen, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and my next video will be available within the next couple of days, possibly a week at most. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.